ito po ay hindi local event. This is going to be a national event this afternoon. But then again, come to think of it, was not UP the center of practically everything during the time of Quezon? Whenever Quezon had a problem in Malacanang, he would say, let's bring these issues to the university. And that would be the University of the Philippines here in UP Manila. So tama lamang po na manumbalik and President Erap na dito magsisimula yung tinatawag nating paglutas ng mga problema ng ating bayan. Maaring sabihin natin na ang Manila, Imperial Manila, kahit na siguro na pag-iwanan ng panahon, po nanggagaling ang yung tinatawag na mga ideya. Okay? At yan po ang pamantasan ng Pilipinas. Inaakala ko po pagkatapos ng pakikipagtunggali ni Mayor Lim at siguro President Erap, makikita po natin ang magtatagumpay sa ating harapan ay isang bagay lamang at yan ang katotohanan. Napakahirap pong hanapin yan, subalit sa pamantasan, ang katotohanan ang ating binibigyan ng mahalaking halaga. So ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa pagdalo ninyong lahat at gaya nga sinabi ko sa inyo, kinausap ko na po yung mga namumuno sa paligid dito. Kung hindi po ako, yung mga kasamahan ko. Subalit, andun pa rin po yung problema. Kapag nalutas po natin ang problema ng UP Manila, titsakin ko sa inyo na ito'y magiging huwaran upang sa gayon ang buong bansa natin ay lalo pang sumulong, hindi lamang tungkol sa ekonomiya, kundi sa pagkatao ng ating mga mamamayan. So iniisip ko po na ginagampanan lamang ng UP Manila ang kanyang tungkulin bilang namumuno sa ating bansa. Kung saan ang UP, kung saan ang pamantasan ng Pilipinas, nandoon ang ating bansa. Mabuhay ang UP Manila at mabuhay ang ating mga panauhin.
Maraming salamat, ating mahal na Chancellor. Nin. Halataan nyo naman po na hindi po namin pinractice to, wala pong rehearsals to, kasi kung may rehearsals po ito, malamang nakikita nyo po yung co-host ko. Ngayon natatakpan ng mga teleprompter. Na-joke lang.
Kita niyo po ba ako? Pasensya na po. Technical difficulty po yan.
Pinaglihi po kasi siya sa Lord of the Rings. Anyway.
Ayan. Without further ado, syempre, may guidelines lang po kami. If it just so happens na meron po kayong ma-formulate na questions from the speaker's talk, pwede pong isulat po sa paper, tas ipasa po sa amin dito sa harapan. Ganun na lang po yung sistema natin. Okay? And now, without further ado, to introduce to us the first speaker. May we call on Professor Jeffrey Solano, the convener of Manila Studies Program of the College of Arts and Sciences, UP Manila.
Hello. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. But before I introduce the first of our distinguished speakers, I am privileged to give a brief background on two historical areas that are most important both to all of us present here and as well to our guest speakers. These are the areas of Malate and Ermita. Bordered by the city of Pasay, the areas Paco, San Andres, and Ermita, and by the Manila Bay, Malate is believed to have stemmed from the corruption of the Tagalog word maalat, meaning salty. Local legends tell that the tide waters from Manila Bay flowed far inland, and the seawater polluted the fresh water collected from the wells, thus making the drinking water as salty as seawater. Malate during the Spanish colonial period was an open space with a small fishing village. During the Spanish period, the center of activity was focused around the Malate Church, the Our Lady of Remedios parish. When the Americans came to the country by the turn of the 19th century, American urban planners envisioned the development of Malate as the newest and trendiest exclusive residential area for the American families. American expatriates and some of the old Spanish mestizo families populated the district in modern high-rise apartments and bungalows. Ermita, on the other hand, is the civic center of Manila and the Manila metropolitan region, hosting the seat of the city government and a large portion of the area's employment, business, and entertainment activities. Ermita was founded in the 16th century. Its name was taken from the Spanish word La Hermita, for hermitage, after the fact that on this site was built a hermitage housing the image of the Blessed Mary, known as the Nuestra Señora de Guía, Our Lady of Guidance. The hermitage has since evolved into Hermita Church and has been rebuilt several times since the early 17th century. Ermita is also home to famous landmarks, tourist attractions, museums such as the Rizal Park and the National Museum. It is also home to several government institutions, including the Supreme Court of the Philippines, the Department of Justice, the Philippine Court of Appeals, the Manila City Hall, and the Philippine General Hospital. Malate and Ermita do not only play a special role in the country's past and present, they also hold a key role to our future. Stretched along Taft Avenue and adjacent areas are some of the country's best and brightest educational institutions. And we all know that these two areas have played an important part in the birth and or the growth of the De La Salle University, Ateneo de Manila University, and of course, the University of the Philippines. Malate and Ermita and 14 other areas make up the 6 legislative districts that are presently under the governance of our first speaker. Our first speaker was born in Manila on the 21st of December, 1929. He got his primary school training at P. Gomez Elementary School in 1943 and his secondary education at the Far Eastern University in 1948. He then went to college and took a Bachelor of Business Administration in 1951 and received his Bachelor of Laws in 1963, both from the University of the East. In the 1950s, our first speaker began his career in the police as a patrolman. He rose up the ranks to become a very decorated and celebrated police officer, earning numerous commendations and awards. He continued studying at the National Defense College of the Philippines and in 1981 earned his Master in National Security Administration, where he graduated with honors. He was conferred the degree of Doctorate of Public Administration honoris causa by the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila in 1996, and this is not yet to mention the various trainings, seminars, and special courses on political service, police service, which he took up locally and internationally in Asia, US, and in Europe. After retiring from police as a Major General in 1989, he was appointed Director of the National Bureau of Investigation, where he lobbied for various causes, the results of which continue to benefit the members of our police and other employees up to today. He then ran for public office for the first time as Mayor of Manila in 1990 to 1995. He won, beating 6 opponents on his first term, pushed reforms in the city government, and his slogan was, "Magaling na lider, disiplinado." On his second term, this time from 1995 to 1998, he earned the nickname Dirty Harry for his tough anti-crime policies against the suspected and convicted pushers and drug runners in the city's red light districts, among others. He became the